pause on that for a second? Please. Hey, I see it looks like we have a couple of viewers here. Yeah, I'm live. I won't be able to read your comments if you do it, but I'll read them afterwards because of my setup. I'm just kind of experimenting here. So, yeah, this is a large chunk of maple, a little out of round, but we'll get it trued up and see what we can turn it into. Thanks for tuning in. Still two. Maybe I'll pause in a second here if anybody has a question or something. Right back. I just gotta sharpen my tool. Not making much dust while I'm still in the fan.
Oh, you can shut it off now.
I'm not making that much, are you?
Probably go to a higher grade anyway, so.
Alright, we still have anybody watching us? Oh, we got one. Well, we lost one. That's alright. Thank you for sticking around. We just shut the dust thing off. We're not creating much dust over on the other lathe, so you'll either hear me talk a little bit. Right now I'm trying to just kind of flatten the bottom up so I can get some lines on here where my tenant and foot's going to be. And then we'll go back to getting the side cleaned up. see this, I made a line where the tent is, and that's where the truck will grab it. This further out here will be roughly where the foot is, at least for the moment, and we'll just start shaping it from here and see where it goes. But yeah, just a little at a time. Just try and get that as flat as possible, because that's where the truck's going to sit up against. And if that's not flat, then you get a wobbly bowl at this end when you turn it around. So we'll get as close as we can. I'll pause. I'll give you a couple minutes in case someone wants to ask a question. Move the camera a little closer. I'll try to answer it. So definitely got some tear out we're dealing with, which is fine. Again, this is just rough because we're going to turn around and let this dry for a few months on the shelf over there and then come back to it and finish it later. And I'm going to have to cut a lot of this away here. And we've got some rot in here we're going to be dealing with, but that might make it look pretty cool on the other end when we finish it. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, hopefully she comes out good. But I see we got 4 people watching now, so that's nice. Thank you for all 4 of you for sticking around and watching. We'll see how long this goes for. All right, I'm gonna put the camera back down, and we got 5 here now. Nice. Let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, you're right. Bark inclusion could be a problem. You can see it goes quite a ways through. I just finished one up that was smaller than this, that the bark inclusion went all the way, and it was on the other side as well, but I was able to save it. There was a little bit of meat there. So that's kind of what I'm hoping on this one too. But you're right, it could be, and it could just come all apart on me before we're done. But yeah, it's you just never know. You take a chance and hopefully it'll work out. Any other questions real quick before I get back to turning? I am going to have a different setup too, going forward eventually, so I can have where I can see people write comments as well as still be turning. Right now I'm using my phone, but I am going to get my other camera going so I can have a camera set up but still have the phone set up. I can see comments coming back at me, so hopefully that'll make it easier. Right now I'm just kind of testing this out to see how it's working out. I appreciate you guys. Definitely leave a comment if you haven't already too, as to, you know, the quality, if there's any issues, the angle, anything like that would be helpful, and I'll try and do my best to make changes. If I don't see them all now when you're commenting, well, I'll go back and review all the comments after the fact, and you know, I appreciate you guys' feedback. All right, I don't see any other comments coming through at the moment. I know there is a delay, so I apologize if I miss a comment, but we'll get back to working on the bowl. 5 now, back to 2. Oh, that smoothed it right up. So I switched to a much smaller gouge and just taking just feathery little cuts to see if I can clear up some of that tear out, and it did really well. Yeah, and that bark does go all the way and on the other side, so we will be standing off to the side once we start hollowing it out, just in case this piece decides to come off. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure I'm going to keep the live feed going the whole time because I don't know how long my battery's going to last, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We will be turning it around here shortly, though. see how wobbly it is. Yeah, it's got a little wobble to it. But to be expected, I didn't get that super flat. So now, if you're still on, it mentioned the bark inclusion. You can see it goes all the way. So we'll see. We'll see. It may not hold up. I hope it does. I will plan my future lives differently. My brother's working right now too, and he's sanding, so that's some of the other background noise. So I'll try and plan it in a way that we're not doing sanding at the same time, just so it's a little bit quieter. Alright, this. I'll be honest, I'm a little worried about this. This was definitely this piece could come off. Let's hope not. What I'm going to do first though is screw up the outside a little bit. Ouch, she's a little bit off. Not too worried about this because it's going to warp when it dries anyways, but I think I just get a little bit of that out of there. Probably not a good bowl to go live on. Just because, yeah, it's a little sketchy for sure. Normally I'd be using a larger gouge and I'd be really getting into that thing and just tearing that stuff out of there. But with that big bark inclusion in there, I don't dare to really just kind of jam the tool in there full bore like I normally would. Give me a second, I'm just going to sharpen my tool real quick.
Yeah.
You guys, anybody have a question? I'll give you a minute here, see if anybody has a comment or a question. That looks pretty interesting on the camera of that thing spinning. Like I said, I know there's a delay, so I do apologize. There wasn't much of a delay though, was it, Mark, when you were watching the other day?
Oh, no, it wasn't much.
No. All right, I don't see any comments coming through. If you did, I will see it after the video ends. I apologize. I don't see anything coming through at the moment. So we're gonna go back and dig some stuff out. I'm gonna check and see how stable it seems. I think we're gonna be all right. Those are famous last words. if I can get you closer. Sorry for the shaking. The reason I'm switching gouges here for a minute is this one I call a bottom feeder. The angle on it's quite a bit shallower, so I don't have to be way out here to make the cut. I can have it marked straight on. So I'll switch over to that for just a couple cuts in the bottom and then go back to the other one. Pretty close to the finished depth now. So we're getting close that way. I just gotta thin the sides up. Quite a bit actually. But it's holding so far. Man, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. I don't know if I'm gonna cut the ring down or leave this and do something with some resin or something. I don't know, we'll see. But that'll be down the road.
close.
Thickness is pretty uniform. Alright, I think we're just about where. Just got to decide if I'm going to do anything with this or just leave it. I might take it down a little bit. Let's see, is the pith in anywhere? Not really. Now, if this can hold up until after it dries, no cracking, then it might be kind of neat with this. Maybe we'll do something with it just to kind of make it a little more interesting. Alright, I'm going to take a little bit off the top, and then I'm going to round the edges over so it doesn't dry so quick on those things.
Oh, my glasses on.
How many is two? You have 2 watches right now? Yeah, a little crack there. I can probably turn that away a little bit. I just did that just to take some of the ridges off, because those ridges will dry quicker and potentially help or cause it to crack. Not pushing hard because I know I have that big gap. By doing a round that over, so there's no sharp points on the edges as well, because that'll dry out quicker and potentially cause it to crack. Now the only thing I'm going to do is, well, I'm not going to, because it's too dangerous with that blunt nose scraper to clean up this outside a bit. I think we're just going to leave it as is. Let's double check our depth. Let's see, we are right there. Well, I could go a little bit more. I'm going to go a little bit more in the bottom. We'll use this for that. Alright, I don't think we have any ridges now, really. Now, that's going to be good. Alright, we're just going to go ahead and coat this to seal it, to slow down the drying process. Probably put it in a bag and leave it for a few months. I'm going to move the camera over here. Maybe I can see if you guys want to comment while I'm doing that part. I might be able to see the comments coming through. Hopefully. Bear with me. Oh, the bowl looks like it's broken in half from this angle. I guess I can't really see from where I'm standing if anybody were to comment. Now, let me get it off here. Oh, one tool, different chuck. Actually, I'm going to glue it up first. We got one viewer now. I'll give you a minute. Is there a comment or anything? And then I'm going to get this thing glued and sealed. Like I said, I don't know how much of a delay there is for comments to come through. All right. I don't see anything. So I apologize if you commented and it just hasn't come through quite yet. Like I said, there is a delay. And this is not what's in the bottle. It's not Type Bond. This is just Elmer's glue and water, watered down. Well, you can probably see how kind of runny it is. And I'll do the outside. I'll take the bolt off of the lathe and do the inside. And then it'll sit around for a while. This just kind of seals it up a little bit to slow down the drying process to help prevent any cracking. All right, I may have to move the camera here so you can see the rest of what I'm going to do. I'm going to lower this down, hopefully. It's going to be sitting right about there. Bear with me. Take it off here. Make sure we get the rim glued. So we left it obviously a lot thicker than the finished product's going to be, because when it dries it's going to warp, and we'll have to put it back on here and true it back up so it's a round bowl. And hopefully nothing happens with this park inclusion area in the meantime, and it stays pretty solid. It looks pretty solid inside there, so I think we're going to be all right. All right. Well, there it is, and it'll end up over here with all that. Oh, that's my brother. He's the one who was making the other noise, sanding. We're going to end up putting it on the shelf over there, and it'll sit for a few months. But hopefully, I'm in the camera angle here. But I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, I didn't announce I was doing a live video. I'm just doing a couple tests. I did a short one last week. But I appreciate it. It did come and check it out for a few minutes. Again, if you're still with me, leave a comment as to anything at all. You know, can I do something different, better, worse, whatever, as far as like the camera angle and things like that. I know that I want to work on that and get it set up better so I can see comments as they come through, and we'll try that going forward. And so the plan now is probably next Sunday I'll do another live video at roughly, I think, like 1 o'clock. So maybe I'll pick a time and announce it so more people know about it now that I know that it's kind of working okay. All right, guys, if you have any last minute comments, if there's anybody there, yeah, there's 2 of you. I'll wait just a minute here and answer any questions for you. Again, I'm new at the live stuff. I've I do videos, edit them, and post them. I really haven't done much for live stuff on any YouTube channels, so bear with me while I learn this process as well. Wow, we've been here almost an hour. But yeah, if you haven't seen the shop, this is the shop. Well, I'm just waiting to see if anybody comments. We got 3 viewers now. Just finished up. If you're just coming on, we just finished up this bowl right there, roughing it as far as getting it ready to dry for a few months. And I'm just waiting to see if anybody has any comments before we wrap things up. In the meantime, I'm just kind of showing the shop here. And really, that's it. So another bowl over here in the process. And a bunch of stuff up there drying. All right, I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys very much. Have a great day. Appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Don't forget to swing over to the website as well, seethewoodturn.com. There's some stuff over there, and I'm trying to add stuff all the time as things are drying and getting finished up. So have a great day, and we'll see you next time.